How do you say that?
How do you say that?
How do you say that? How do you say that?
Hello, and this is episode 6 of How Do You Say That from BritishVoiceover.co.uk. My co-host is Mark Rice, who is a bit of a sci-fi buff, but his favourite franchise is definitely Star Trek.
Ah, yes, pointy ears, absolutely, very much so. And this is my co-host, Samantha Boffin, and Sam's fascinating fact is that she once met, oh, get this is drumroll territory, Morecambe and Wise.
Woohoo!
That must have been fascinating. What was the situation there?
My dad worked with Morecambe and Wise virtually.
Wow.
I met all sorts of people, actually, Tommy Cooper and all the kind of greats of that era. He used to take me up to the studios and always introduced me because I was in love with comedy entertainers in those days. So
What a childhood.
So anyway, every week we're asking how do you say that to you and our studio guest, who this week is the incredibly versatile Rory Barnett. Hello, Rory.
Hi, Rory.
Hello. I'm very nice. Thank you very much for inviting me on to your wonderful podcast. I'm very much looking forward to do it. Well, I don't know what you've got in store for
Well,
it.
yes, you might regret that. Who knows?
Yes, exactly.
Let's give you a bit of an intro here then, Rory. Rory worked for the BBC for more than 15 years, but he started in the advertising industry working on, get this, the iconic Papa and Nicole Renault Clio campaign. Papa, Nicole, Papa,
Yeah,
Nicole.
indeed.
I remember it well.
That was all there was to it.
Well, I think it's very apposite because Rory himself is a bit of a linguophile, a lover of language and words. In fact, languages have always been Rory's thing. He speaks French fluently and he's studied German, Spanish, Arabic and Chinese. So surely, Rory, that has got to be an unbelievably useful thing for a voice actor.
It is quite a useful thing. So a job I've just been doing was... This is the sort of international nature of the business that we're in. Client was in Spain. Producer was in Spain, sorry. The client is actually English, but with an office in France. So we had people from all over, and I was speaking in French, but with an English accent.
Wow.
So that was the job. And it was good, and it was really good fun.
How exciting.
Well, Rory, we were also looking at your website and there are loads of surprising things there. Singing impressions, pretending to be a NASA space launch commander, narrating a poem in ancient Greek. That's got to be a voiceover first, surely.
Uketiput lemon scopelon metanastria perdix. I don't know why I remember it. I mean, I think I was about 13 when I learnt it. And the singing lyrics was a lockdown thing where we were all stuck and someone said...
I remember this so vividly, Rory.
Speak the lyrics. And people nominated, right? I think it was Katie Moore.
Yeah.
Brilliant voice. He said, I nominate Rory to do Space Oddity. So I was
What a great idea.
Okay. What am I going to do? So, I mean, I think I didn't do any work for about 2 days, just sort of, videoed it, got it all sorted, did a little bit of really kind of ham-fisted production and put it all up. So there it is on my website.
I love it because you play different people within it, don't you?
Yes.
Just really worth going to see it. We'll definitely put that in the show notes because for anyone out there, it's such a blast to actually... A blast! See what I did there?
I did see what you did there.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really worth having a look at. So, Rory, after all those already fun facts, do you have a fun fact for us?
Well, I went into battle on behalf of the voiceover world against the encroaching threat of AI.
Oh.
So this was a recent thing. I got called up by a radio producer saying, we're really interested in audiobook narration and AI, and do you think you might come on the programme and talk about it? And could you record a little section of A Christmas Carol? And then we're going to compare your reading of A Christmas Carol with the AI version.
I mean, that is brave.
I listened to the first sentence and thought, I'm going to pack this in. I might as well just give up.
No.
I think we're done. And then what was really interesting, and AI is going to get better and better and better at copying the human voice. That's what it's doing.
Yep.
You start, your ear picks up, your ear becomes more and more attuned to the things that aren't quite right.
Agreed.
So the more
absolutely.
you listen,
Yep.
and so the more you listen to it, the more it was, it sounds quite similar. Oh, what's the inflection at the end of the sentences and various things. And of course, we have so many different other ways of making a difference. Here with this microphone, the dynamism and all of those sort of various things.
As we've said before on the podcast, Rory, that is the joy of the human versus the AI. And the human will always be able to bring something different.
Yeah.
It's that predictability of pace, actually, that I find that is the biggest giveaway often, that they don't vary. You know, once you've set that, but, having said that, I don't listen to that many AI narrated books because I don't particularly, like them, but that's what I've found.
The problem is that when the beginning of the extract was 3 words, and it's Marley was
It's my
dead.
Favourite opening.
So you sort of go, right, I've got to sound really human, got to sound really human, mustn't sound like a computer, okay? Mustn't sound like a robot. And you sort of go, Marley was dead. Oh, that's no good. You go, Marley was dead. And there's, no, that's even worse. That's now completely over the top. What are we going to do? And they just say, Marley was dead. You're put in this situation where you're almost doing a sort of completely unnatural read because you want to make sure that you're differentiating yourself from the robot.
How do you say that?
Indeed. How do you say that? That's how I said that anyway. So I'm looking at, I have bought a script with me today. So it's one I've been working on fairly recently. So I think we've all got it in front of us.
We have.
It's it's a cross between a corporate and an explainer. It was talking to ordinary people, i.e. this was business to, ordinary hunters. B2C.
To consumers, yes.
To consumers. I always think that sounds so formal the minute you say B2C. I think that immediately gives it a formality that it actually doesn't need at all. And it was also partly an advertorial, so it had kind of a lot of bits to it. And I've given you the middle bit, actually, of it. This is not the beginning of it at all. This comes somewhere in the middle of it. So, Mark...
Oh, I knew you were going to pick on me first today.
I couldn't possibly pick on Rory. So I would love you to give it a read.
Okay. Yes. So advertorial, that kind of, but relatively light, I think, if it's going directly to the end consumer. All right, let's give it a go. A product suited to today's busy lifestyles, the gardening newcomers, and for those wanting to do their part for the environment. For the garden enthusiast, the underserved urban dweller, for the complete beginners who didn't believe they could garden, we created this product. An affordable, high-density vertical growing system designed for modern living, a complete garden in a box. This product allows you to take full control over the food you and your loved ones consume. We've made it so simple, quick setup, low maintenance, minimal effort, and once it's set up, it really just runs itself.
Yes, I mean, that was a very different read. You'll hear that's a very different read than the one I gave it, I'll be honest. But that's not to say my read was necessarily the only way you could do it, I have to say.
I open myself up to criticism from all our guests, Rory, so but feel free to go ahead.
So I would probably, my inclination would be, if you're in the middle of it, it's quite listy, isn't it?
A bit, yeah.
So then the garden enthusiast, it's keeping the interest all the way through.
Yes.
Particularly on those long bits, so that it's the day's lifestyle, the gardening newcomer.
Yeah.
So you've got lists in the first 2 paragraphs. So this is the challenge on this particular bit of script, and then you've got the affordable, high density, vertical. So everything seems to have lists in it.
Yes, I found the problem with this particular one was absolutely the list. And also, if you were going to say to yourself, okay, right, that is the important one in that sentence. That's important. You'd be underlining everything.
Exactly.
That's a real problem. Like that, you're absolutely right. An affordable, high-density, vertical growing system, all those things are important.
And yet it became much easier after that sentence. So a complete garden in a box, it became really quite obvious where you were going after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rory, it's your turn.
Hey, Rory, now you've
Okay.
managed to look at it for 2 minutes, you'll probably
it's-
do a phenomenal job of this now.
Here we go. Right. A product suited to today's busy lifestyles, the gardening newcomers, and for those wanting to do their part for the environment. For the garden enthusiast, the undeserved urban dweller, for the complete beginners who didn't believe they could garden. We created this product. An affordable, high-density vertical growing system designed for modern living. A complete garden in a box. This product allows you to take full control over the food you and your loved ones consume. We've made it so simple. Quick setup, low maintenance, minimal effort, and once set up, it really just runs itself.
You see.
For me, it was quite corporate-y at the beginning while it was listing. Then it became really friendly, and you were basically... That's the hard sell, soft sell thing about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, really nice.
I wasn't sure, yes, sort of, I would definitely do that again, and then exactly, they would take it, say, as a producer, warm up the top, make the top a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
We liked the more friendly read, so do the whole thing all the way through.
Sure.
So you'd have the options of changing that around.
That is the beauty of a directed read, of course, because you're absolutely right. Once you have it, that's why I always encourage directors to actually get on and do, even if they're not, used to directing, simply being able to give real feedback like, well, we want to make it inspirational, or we want it to be quite factual. So that you'll give two very different reads depending on what you're asked to do there.
And I think, interestingly, you could probably go and do the second part and then tack the first part onto the second part, as we've said before, Sam, and you do the beginning at the end again.
Absolutely. You absolutely could. Interestingly, you both misread underserved.
Oh.
Do we say undeserved?
Yes.
Undeserved.
Undeserved.
The undeserved.
Underserved.
It's underserved. You both did it.
Underserved.
Really interesting.
Gosh. I would call underserved two different words, that's why.
That's how it came out. That's how they sent it to me.
Fair enough,
Yeah.
fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
absolutely. Hands up to that.
So are we going to listen to your version then, Sam?
Well, you'll listen to me do it. Whether I do it exactly the same way that I did it originally, I can't honestly say, but this is kind of how I approached it. A product suited to today's busy lifestyles, the gardening newcomers, and for those wanting to do their part for the environment. For the garden enthusiast, the underserved urban dweller, for the complete beginners who didn't believe they could garden, we created this product. An affordable, high-density vertical growing system designed for modern living, a complete garden in a box. This product allows you to take full control over the food you and your loved ones consume. We've made it so simple. Quick setup, low maintenance, minimal effort, and once set up, it really just runs itself.
Of the three of us, you're the one that I want to buy it from. It may be that I'd heard it 3 times then, and I kind of went, oh, actually, this is quite a clever product.
I like your a complete pause.
Yes,
Garden
absolutely.
in a box. That
Yeah.
was the sell. That was the magic moment in your read.
Oh, bless
That's
ya.
when I reached to the button to go and buy one, I think.
Yep, there you go.
Totally.
How do you say that?
Right, yes, now, Rory, you
Yes.
have brought us a script. Now, you actually sent us 2 scripts, rather wonderfully, but we chose one of them, and one of the reasons we went for this one is because of the punning in the title.
That was me for legal reasons changing the company name. And if the company concerned is listening and they want to actually change this, then for a small fee I will allow them to have this company name. But
To
there
be
you go.
fair, you have created a much better company name for them than it was originally. So, absolutely. So you can tell that your advertising background kicks in sometimes.
It's to do with something that's very, very current, solar panels, and the new name will be revealed shortly.
Unless you have looked forward in the show notes and read it for yourself, yeah.
Exactly.
Some people do, some people don't. Sam, are you going to give this one a go first?
Well, I absolutely can. Yeah, absolutely. It seems fair, seeing as I haven't gone first before. So I shall give it now. What should I ask now? What I will ask actually. There is a light touch to this, I'm assuming.
There is.
Yeah.
There is also, in terms of the medium, it is a radio script. So
Okay.
that is obviously something that's
Sure.
that you need to know.
Yes. Okay. Fine. So it's a radio script, and okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Saving money right now feels like a no-brainer. Energy bills are at an all-time high, and we're all looking for clever ways to reduce them. Solar panels from Solar So Good. Solar So Good. I can't say it like that. I want to. Right, okay. Solar panels from Solar So Good could be the answer. Solar So Good, the renewable energy specialists, have helped thousands of UK homeowners by installing money-saving solar panels. And you may not know that when you have solar panels supplied and installed on your home, you don't pay any VAT, saving you even more money. Visit solarsogood.co.uk.
Oh, I think Solar So Good probably does it. It's
I
like-
want Solar So Good there.
Yes. That was lovely. It was a real whip through, but you did it quite lightly. It's what you were asking for beforehand. It's not a heavy script, this, is it?
No, it's not a heavy script, and it's a 30 seconds. So
Yes, when you said radio, I realised
Yep.
it had to be quick. I don't know if I made that 30 seconds, but we shall see. Anyway, I stopped in the middle, so
Just on the page, it looks overwritten for a 30 to me.
yeah,
I'm just doing a word count. 90.
that is
So-
bang on
That-
30
yeah,
if you
exactly.
whip
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, I mean, I'll
If
see.
you whip it. I prefer
Yeah.
75-word scripts to be in 30 seconds, to
Absolutely.
be fair.
Yep.
Absolutely.
As we all do. We all love that little bit of breathing space, don't we?
Yeah.
Which we don't often get in a 30. So
That is very true.
yes.
Although I had one in this morning where the producer went, they've underwritten this. Could you go slowly, please?
Oh,
and
well, yeah.
the maximum length I got it to was 28, knowing what the music was. And it was like, but that was really dragging it out. But that's very unusual.
Yes, that is quite unusual.
I kind of expect the client to come back tomorrow and say, oh, we've thrown another line in there.
Oh, we've made it a
We'll
20.
see.
Now do
We've
it
made it
again,
a
but
20,
shorter.
exactly right.
20 now. Speed it right up.
I feel like I might just go down a different route to you, Sam, but let's have a look. Let's have a
Good.
look.
Well, yeah.
That's what this whole podcast's about, isn't it? To be fair,
Exactly.
absolutely. Saving money right now feels like a no-brainer. Energy bills are at an all-time high and we're all looking for clever ways to reduce them. Solar panels from Solar So Good could be the answer. Solar So Good, the renewable energy specialists, have helped thousands of UK homeowners by installing money-saving solar panels. And you may not know that when you have solar panels supplied and installed on your home, you don't pay any VAT, saving you even more money. Visit solarsogood.co.uk.
You went solar.
You nailed the company name. The fake
That
company name.
was it. So I felt an idiot saying Solar So Good, but you made it sound right.
I think you've just got to go in with some kind of depth of conviction there.
Now it was interesting that. What did you think, Rory? What did you think? Because I'll say what I thought. I thought you might not have got it in 30 seconds.
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
I don't
No.
think I did.
No, I would say probably not. You're rattling through. It's three words a second. You can't hang around.
I reckon if I put the stopwatch on that, it's probably between 34 and 36, I suspect.
Okay.
But then that was a first take, and then I'd do it quicker after that.
Yeah. It was a tougher read than mine. Absolutely. I think that you gave it more. Say Butch
Welly.
energy. No.
Oh, Butch, you want me to get my Butch energy out? Yeah. Do you know what, Sam? That's the biggest compliment I've been paid all week, to be fair. I'm going to take my Butch energy and I'm going to run with it all week.
I'll always think of you now as having lots of Butch energy. So Rory.
Well, at least we know what the title of this episode's going to be.
Yep, there it is.
The
right
one with
there.
the Butch energy.
So Rory, how is it really done? That's
Yes,
what I
save
want to
Okay.
us, save us.
So, firstly, fast.
Yep, okay.
Saving money right now feels like a no-brainer. Energy bills are at an all-time high and we're all looking for clever ways to reduce them. Solar panels from Solar So Good could be the answer. Solar So Good, the renewable energy specialists, have helped thousands of UK homeowners by installing money-saving solar panels. And you may not know that when you have solar panels supplied and installed on your home, you don't pay any VAT, saving you even more money. Visit solarsogood.co.uk.
Yeah, that was a lot faster, wasn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely Solar So Good. It's so much better.
When you go that fast, when they are that overwritten, though, you don't get the choice to hit certain parts of it. You've just got to rattle through it, haven't you?
You have.
Did you take a good old breath at the beginning and do that in one, Rory?
I think I might have breathed somewhere along the way, but
You breathed after UK homeowners, but that was exactly the right place to breathe because it felt like a natural break in the sentence anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But do you put in your scripts? Sometimes if you do need to take a breath, I'm quite fortunate. So if you're doing a script and you'll have a script like this that needs to be done at a bit of a lick, then the producer will say, "Don't worry about this. Just take a breath. Yeah. I'll just tighten up all the gaps and we'll be fine. We'll get it in the 30 and there'll be no problem."
It's always useful when they do that.
It is.
Exactly.
I did one not last. It was about just over a year ago. I had COVID. And I was booked, and my voice was okay, but my breathing wasn't brilliant.
Yeah.
And bless him, it was a radio ad, and it was a quick one. It was two very, very quick radio ads, and he let me. And I said it right at the beginning, "My breathing isn't brilliant. I've had COVID," and he said, "Fine, let's do it in 3 parts, and then I'll just bring it all together." I was so relieved that he didn't go, "Oh, well, sorry, love, I'll get someone else then." But in fact, and that was really easy. I was able to do it in 3 bits. I've never done it before or since. But
so many people listening, Sam, will understand that thing. We've all had COVID, or most of us have had COVID.
Yeah.
And it does, the affecting your breathing part of doing this particular type of job. It's surprising, though, because it lasts for a long time as well.
Well, this was literally days after it, after me getting over it, and I was quite nervous about it. But he booked me in the morning, and I was there in the afternoon.
Well, as we know, chaps, there are lots of different ways a script can be read. We've kind of done that a little bit there. Sometimes doing something totally off-piste can help you find alternative ways of actually approaching it. So, this is the dreaded wildcards section, Rory and Sam. Let's see if we can approach these scripts in a completely different way.
Yes. Now, Rory, you gave us an amazing idea when we were talking to you about doing the podcast. And you were really interesting because you've actually got a musical background kind of thing. You love music.
Yeah.
And you were saying, could we do them to different pieces of music?
Interesting.
Because it completely changes the style.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear those first notes, whatever you thought you were going to read can get completely sidetracked or completely sort of realigned
if the music doesn't
on the
fit.
music that and the music that you're hearing. Yeah.
So we're doing musical wildcard this week.
Yes, weird.
Effectively. So
it might not work, but we'll try it. We'll try it.
But instead of having having a word or a type or reading it in a certain style, we're going to let the music dictate.
Aha.
But as we launch into them, and it doesn't really matter which script we take in that case.
I've got 3 bits of music that we can do here. So
Okay.
you pick a script, I'll pick a bit of music, and then Rory can go first.
Okey-doke.
Okay.
Because he's the expert. He's
And
the one
so-
that suggested it.
Exactly. So we'll just listen to the first few notes of the music and then we'll let the music guide us. Is that
Indeed.
the idea?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I can probably
Brilliant.
give you 2 or 3 words about what the music is to give you a clue in your brain.
Nope, don't give me any clue.
Okay, no clues.
No clue.
Which script shall we give him, Sam?
Well, I think...
The Solar
actually,
So Good?
Let's give
or-
him Solar So Good, which is so dear to my heart.
Okay.
Solar So Good.
Okay, and the music is coming in, and you tell me when you're ready, and I'll bring the music in for you, Rory.
I'm ready. Saving money right now feels like a no-brainer. Energy bills are at an all-time high, and we're all looking for clever ways to reduce them. Solar panels from Solar So Good could be the answer. Solar So Good, the renewable energy specialists have helped thousands of UK homeowners by installing money-saving solar panels. And you may not know that when you have solar panels supplied and installed on your home, you don't pay any VAT, saving you even more money. Visit solarsogood.co.uk.
I mean, brilliant. Exactly. I mean, it just. But you knew, I think, within probably 4 beats exactly where you were going to go with that, didn't you?
Yeah. It was sort of ghoulish and whoa.
Yeah.
But
and
yet childlike at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it can be really useful. I know there are some VOs out there, and they're probably saying this right now while listening to this, that they actually use music themselves in the background to help inform their read, to help it. So if somebody said to them, actually, we want a really sort of measured, evenly paced, or we want something really upbeat and peppy, they have got pieces of music that they use to read
that
against.
isn't part of the campaign. It's
That
just
isn't
what
part of
they
the
use.
campaign.
Oh, that's fascinating. I didn't realise
If they
that.
haven't actually been sent any music, absolutely, they use a different kind of music that the client will never know anything about, but that they use to sort of bounce off. To inform their read, which I think is fascinating.
And people have done it in things like video game auditions, particularly when you really need to get an emotional, a real sort of emotional heft to your audition.
Yes.
Some people have a piece of music that will take them immediately to that particular place where they need to go for their read. Yeah.
Right, Sam, let's go you next. Now, I've got 2 bits of music to choose. I know exactly which one I'm going to give you. Which script are you going to go for?
Well, I don't know. Rory, give me a script. Let's see.
Well, you do script 1.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
and then let's see. I think, Mark, do your worst on the music.
A product suited to today's busy lifestyles, the gardening newcomers, and for those wanting to do their part for the environment. For the garden enthusiast, the underserved urban dweller, for the complete beginners who didn't believe they could garden, we created this product. An affordable, high-density, vertical growing system designed for modern living. A complete garden in a box. This product allows you to take full control over the food you and your loved ones consume. We've made it so simple. La 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 la. I want to go with it.
That was great. I mean, it changed the entire read of what you were doing, wasn't it?
I started smiling and listening to you, listen to you smiling. I just sort of suddenly realised that I had a great big broad grin on my face as well.
Maybe that's why that dreadful bit of music is used so much on every explainer in the world.
Yeah. It really makes you want to sort of, bounce, to it. It really makes you want to kind of, One thing I did find, because I did know that piece of music, but if you don't know the piece of music, normally you'd let the beats, as it were, beat
Guide
on
you.
between
Yes.
the guide you. But we kind of just, we're just kind of going for it with these scripts. So you actually know which...
I know the other bit of music that I've chosen,
bit.
and I might have done that deliberately. I might be regressing in my decision right now, though. That's the problem. Hey-ho.
But do you know which script you would?
No, and
you were gonna
that's the
choose
issue.
with?
It might be completely the wrong decision.
Well, to be honest, my favourite script today has to be Solar So Good. So let's go Solar So Good.
Right, well, I'll give it a try. That's the thing. Here we go, then. Saving money right now feels like a no-brainer. Energy bills are at an all-time high, and we're looking for clever ways to reduce them. Solar panels from Solar So Good could be the answer. Solar So Good, the renewable energy specialists, have helped thousands of UK homeowners by installing money-saving solar panels. And you may not know that when you have solar panels supplied and installed on your home, you don't pay any VAT, saving you even more money. Visit solarsogood.co.uk.
Oh, the sense of urgency.
Wow.
It's like, this is, the climate needs it.
Well, let me kill that music. There we go. Yes, it's quite a climatey bit of music, actually, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yes.
Time is running out, people. Need your solar panels.
Right now.
And you gave that full on.
Yeah, it felt like kind of a spooky film read almost at the beginning, that kind of, A Quiet Place type thing.
I think that music, to me, always brings a kind of darker read.
Yeah.
You know, much
Yes.
as my Butch energy is there, but the darker side of that
It's never not there.
said nobody ever.
And of course, on that note, we do want to hear your take on it.
We do indeed. So we've put the scripts in the show notes, and if you'd like to try and have a go at one of them, better than us, obviously, send it on MP3 to podcast@britishvoiceover.co.uk. That would be great. We can pick one or two maybe to play in an upcoming episode if you're brave enough to put yourself out there.
Yes, definitely. And of course, if you have any voiceover questions that you would like us to ponder, it could be anything about anything. It could be about marketing or reading scripts, the audition process, dealing with clients, anything. Do send your questions for any future episodes to podcast@britishvoiceover.co.uk.
What have you got for us this week, Sam? What question have you picked out?
Well, the question this week is, where do you go to find the right pronunciations for your scripts?
I've got an easy, quick answer, if that helps.
Yeah.
Normally YouTube. It's
Do
like,
you?
Google it, then YouTube. Yeah, for a lot of it, it depends what it is. But normally I go back to the client and say, can you send me a pronunciation guide?
Having done audiobooks, I have a whole raft of ones. So anything for UK is how'd you say?
Yes, I love
And
How'd You Say.
there is a man who the man who does the voices on How'd You Say. I'm slightly obsessed with him, and he has this sort of voice.
I love it
says-
so much.
Solar. And if you say renewable, renewable.
Yes.
So then there's How'd You Say for Forvo for kind of a lot of European pronunciations. Youglish. Now the Youglish is
I don't know
Youglish is
Youglish.
my new discovery.
Ooh.
It's YouTube.
Yes.
But they actually find where the word appears in the
clever.
YouTube clip.
Wow.
So
Right.
because sometimes sometimes you're looking for, let's say, a
Yes.
company name, and then you see a TED talk or you see a presentation, and it's maybe the CEO or the company, and he says, "Okay, we're all here, and so let's do this thing," and you haven't mentioned the company name yet. Whereas Youglish, it then finds the actual name.
The point.
And
Wow.
it finds the point in the clip where it mentions it.
You see,
So
for me, that would be brilliant because very often I do bits where I've got to introduce people. And if I've never heard of a said movie star before and they've got an odd sounding name, that would be brilliant because they've always done an interview somewhere that says it.
Exactly.
Although I always check it twice if I find
Yes,
it
true.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Always check it twice. But so what is Youglish an app or?
No, Youglish is as a web. It may be an app, but you can just find it on your normal
I
browser.
tell you what, let's find it and put it in the show notes
Yes,
so that
definitely.
everybody's
Yep.
got it. That's
Definitely.
a good idea.
Yeah.
So I do those. I do How'd You Say and Forvo. I will now do Youglish. Yes, Youglish.
It's
I
a great
definitely
name
do
for a
that.
site as well.
Absolutely. Oxford Dictionary of English for the British lot
For the rather
is
smart
really
ones.
good. No,
Yes.
just
Yes.
for the British ones, because it often has names in it that How'd You Say doesn't have. So it's really good. I think the Oxford Dictionary of English, and I have been known to phone things like schools out of hours that have the name of the town in their
Ooh,
so that I
is
get their answer
ingenious.
machine. Yeah.
Yep. I'm really liking all this sort of late night telephone research. I'm just going to ring some schools. I'm just going to ring some companies. Just check on the IVR.
Stalking. It's called
Here we
stalking,
go.
Rory. It's
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 non-stop in the
it's
voiceover
called
world.
Valid voiceover research is
Exactly.
what it's called.
So I think we've come to the end of episode 6. So, Rory, thank you so much for.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Which has been your favourite bit? Because there's another favourite bit coming up.
Ooh, I think Solar So Good has been
So
my
so good.
Absolutely.
and Butch Energy, obviously.
Of course. I mean, I will share some of my Butch energy with you for this final bit of the show, if you like.
Just before you do your butchness, just a reminder that all of Rory's details, and there are a lot of fantastic details about Rory Barnett, I can tell you, all Rory's details can be found in the show notes, along with all the other nonsense that we've done in this
I
particular
suppose the
episode.
show notes are going to be even longer than the show.
Possibly so. Yes, it does work out that way sometimes. We'll also be putting today's scripts in the show notes so you can have a read yourself. yourself, have a go and send it to podcast@britishvoiceover.co.uk. We would love to hear what you do with them. Honestly, we really would.
And of course, yes, it's the same email address for your voiceover questions too, if you've got any.
Please like and subscribe to the podcast. Lots of people have been doing that. Thank you so much. Tell your VO mates, reshare our Facebook posts about it, that kind of thing, you know.
Here is the end, the fiasco that is the end. Now, Rory, what happens is that we count it down and we all say together, in theory, how do you say that? It'll be very obvious when that moment comes.
Yes.
So, wait for it. So, we will be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest when we'll be asking, how do you say that?
That was pretty good. That was all together. Well done.
Oh, phew. I thought I was going to get a count. I wasn't sure.
How do you say that?